Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and the Amazing Spider-Man issue number 801. Okay. I read Tony Stark Iron Man, all right? Dan Slott's new major product before he's going on to a different project, and that is the Fantastic Four. So he's going to be writing Iron Man and Fantastic Four. So all the sciences belong to him, okay? Unless Black Panther is actually going to be doing his own thing, like in the present again instead of the future thing. Oh my God, this was so good. You had a first page where you got to introduce Spider-Man because we've never seen that before. But it was so quick. It's like, who cares? Genuinely, who cares? And it was kind of necessary because of something that happens later on in the book. This isn't a Spider-Man story, although it's every Spider-Man story. It's really about this guy named Dan, okay? Man, Dan walks into Dan's father. Somebody calls from the hospital and says, Dan, your father's about to die. Get over here now. He's got like maybe a couple hours, all right? And he's trying to get there, and everything wrong that could happen happens. And he almost winds up getting killed on the way to go and see his dad for the last time. How freaking tragic would that be? But he makes it, all thanks to Spider-Man. Okay, Spider-Man being an absolute ditz and everything. And I'm just saying, does anybody else remember a scene that looks kind of like this? I'm just saying, this looks like Amazing Fantasy issue number 15. All right, from way back in the Wayback Machine, back in the day. And I love this. Oh my God, like obviously it's so different and yet just the same. It's perfect, my God. And you're gonna find more than one scene like that that's gonna remind you of stuff from back in the day. Ah, man, this is so good, so amazingly good. Wow. So, yeah, you get to see his dad, and then you basically see really briefly the rest of his life as he's moving forward. Then it switches to a Spider-Man story, and it comes right back to Dan. And, man, just so good. Did it actually say his name? Like, what? It was Dan, right? Ken, sorry, it was Ken. Yeah, his name is Uncle Ken. I'm just saying, you get to the end of the story and you realize that, well, this isn't necessarily a Spider-Man story. It is indeed every Spider-Man story. Slott is the man. Slott's the man. Look, the final Spider-Man story was technically the previous one, 800. That's where everything gets wrapped up. Like I said, I didn't think you were going to need this comic book. You didn't need this comic book. This is just Dan Slott giving one final farewell. And for all the people who are going to not like this, shame on you. I've got nothing even bad to say about whatever bad you're going to say about this comic book, man. I'm saying myself, shame on them. Shame on them for losing their childhood. Shame on them for forgetting what it's like to read a Spider-Man comic book when we were kids, man. This is reading this comic book and enjoying this comic book. I'm going to put a line in the sand right now. This is the difference between being a fan and just being somebody else who's in it for a cheap thrill, a cheap pop, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Legit. This reminds me from when I was a little kid and I used to want to read a Spider-Man story because I thought I could be Spider-Man. I thought I could put on the mask, I could suit up, and I could go out there and I could actually be Spider-Man and actually change people's lives. And this is one of those stories that makes you say, wow, I could totally do that. And I don't even need the costume. Great story. Great story. Do you need this for your collection? Well, if it's a collection, yeah. But do you need this to complete any kind of a story? Nope. Totally standalone. It could be a different Spider universe for all I care. Doesn't matter. It's just one of those stories. Read it. I think you'll understand. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.